Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inspiration Morning Live. I am Christina Crowley, and I am so happy to have you here this morning. Those of you who watch me live, I truly appreciate it. And those of you who watch me in the replay, that makes me so happy too. I want to say thank you very much for doing that. And, I help people who are going after their passion. And, sometimes people think that going after their passion equates happiness. And, that's what I want to talk about today, happiness. I feel that happiness is, it's a multifaceted type of a thing, of emotion, of being, way of being. And, I've always wondered if seeking happiness is the way to go about finding happiness. And, with me believing that seeking happiness, with happiness being a multifaceted thing, I think, no, seeking happiness is not a wrong way of doing it. But, I've done a little research over the past day or two or several days, because Teresa and I talked about happiness on our podcast, and happiness isn't easy. I think to know happiness, you need to know sadness. I think you need to know the opposite emotions of it. And I think we think happiness is that far thing we need to grab, and that it's only for some people. and I struggle with saying that because it's not, it's not. Happiness is not the same for everyone. We all experience happiness differently. I know that when I was a child, I had people saying to me, "Hi, good morning, welcome. We're talking about happiness this morning and how happiness is different for everybody." I think happiness is a multifaceted, multidimensional type of emotion, a feeling, a state of being. I can't even put it into one thing that it is. It's a verb, it's a noun, it's an adjective. I think happiness is, we do experience it differently. When I was a kid, I didn't smile all the time, but I didn't know it, but I found my happiness in myself. I remember teachers saying, smile, people saying smile, and I just didn't. It just wasn't who I am. It's not really who I am today. I am a happy person. I do, when I come on these Inspiration Morning Lives, I try to have a happy look on my face, because I think that my normal blah look is kind of a scowl, and it's off-putting to some people, and people do judge us by the look on our face. And so I try to have a happiness look. But, those people who say happiness is an inside job, I truly believe that is true. And I truly believe that we need to lead that. Happiness is within inside ourselves. Happiness, it's a process. And I think it's an ever ongoing way of being. I think, I don't think happiness is the opposite of depression. I'm not a psychologist. I do not know. I do not have a license or letters behind my name that are PhD or, a doctor that knows the legal definitions of happiness. Or I know from my own experience and from the others around me, I like having, there are parts of me that are I think I could be happy and sad at the same time. I think that, I can be sad that, certain things have happened, certain experiences have happened, but yet I choose to be happy. That's the point where I choose to be happy. And, happiness is within us. And I think because I believe in practicing gratitude, when I am sad, when life is hard, I do write in my happiness journal, my gratitude journal. And it reminds me that though there are certain sad things happening in my life, I am grateful for, maybe the passing of someone, the passing of a friend, that there are, that maybe that something has come to an end. I am happy for having had the experience. Therefore, there's the duality of it. Alrighty. So there's, I think happiness is, it's within us, and it's for us to share with others, and to understand that we all experience happiness differently. And in going after your passion, realizing that maybe your passion is a work in progress. Maybe working on your passion is always going to be a work in progress. And so is that happiness going to be a work in progress. Some of us are the most optimistic of people. Hi, good morning, and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I look over there because my camera to see that there are people over there are there. So thank you for joining me. I'm talking about happiness today, and how it is different for all of us. And that for me to get through times in my life that are sad, I practice gratitude, and that reminds me of, it brings me back to my happiness, and it doesn't push down any kind of sadness that may be, but it does, I need to acknowledge the duality of both things, of the happiness and any kind of sadness that goes on. And happiness, as I've researched it over the past few days, several weeks, even psychology today, let me show you what Psychology Today said. It said happiness is a state of well-being that encompasses living a good life, that is, with a sense of meaning and deep satisfaction. Happiness is not the result of bouncing from one joy to the next. Achieving happiness typically involves times of considerable discomfort. And I get that, that leaves me, room for, happiness, of remembering happiness. And sometimes happiness ends, and acknowledging that happiness. There were times where I thought that I wasn't really happy. Like when we first moved down here to Denver, and I was a teenager, I thought I was the most unhappy person ever. And my sister was much worse. She was much, much worse. I thought that I was truly unhappy, but I look back on it and I see it as a time that my parents, they reconnected. They went out to dinner every Friday night, and they gave us $20 to go get lost, to go do what we wanted to do, because my sister drove, and to go explore the city ourselves. And they were able to go to a new restaurant every night. It was a new kind of happiness for them, and ultimately it was a new kind of happiness for me. It was just a different type of thing. And in hindsight, and sometimes we have to see it in hindsight, that, we weren't so sad at certain things like moving. And I wasn't so unbearably happy in high school, though I didn't like it. And, but it wasn't as incredibly unhappy as I thought it was. And moving to that new one, it gave me some of the qualities I feel like I have today, that I can go into new situations. I can start over. And so those unhappy situations have led me to some real strengths that I have, and I appreciate having them. And I don't think I would have had them for not going through that, what I thought was a really unhappy experience. Okay. I've been talking for about 10 minutes now, and it's almost time to end. I don't like these to go much more than 10 minutes, and I do appreciate having you here. So if you could give me some hearts, if you can give me some thumbs up, some likes, that lets Facebook know that there are some people within our community that really like it, and it allows the algorithm to show this to other people within our Inspiration Morning community, and some of you that are on my Christina Crowley page, my personal page that I share this on. My friends and my business acquaintances, if you want to give me some thumbs up or hearts too, I really appreciate it. I will be here Monday through Friday. I really appreciate you joining me, and I like hearing from you, and I want to do a special shout out to Barbara and say thank you for your thoughts yesterday. It was really sweet to hear from you, and I appreciate it. But what questions do you have? What topics would you like me to talk about, and what ones would you like me to just, you weren't, wanting to hear more about? So, please share this Facebook Live. Like I said, please click on the heart button, click on the thumbs up, And I really appreciate you here. And if you feel this has been helpful, share it with your friends. Let them see this. Hello, good morning. How are you? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Turn up the sound. I know that Facebook doesn't do that, though. Sometimes they start this, and I try to put subtitles on this. And, we've been talking about happiness today. What does happiness mean to you? Do you think happiness is a given? Do you think you can be happy and sad at the same time? Is it an all or nothing thing? I really think it is a multifaceted type of emotion, type of a verb. Please feel free to put a comment in the comment box, put a question there. Tell me what you think happiness is. I've been doing a lot of research on happiness lately, and I truly believe that happiness comes from many things. It comes from experiences. It comes from just being. It comes in the reflection of what you thought was a past sadness or unhappiness. Alrighty, so with that said, I'm gonna end this now, and I want to say thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on my next Facebook Live. Ta-ta for now.